Tactical empathy can help you sell more homes, and here's how. Hi, I'm Dustin Oldfather of the Oldfather Group of Sotheby's International Realty and owner of Motto Mortgage Prosperity. So recently I had the great privilege of meeting Chris Voss, FBI hostage negotiator extraordinaire and best-selling author of Never Split the Difference, which is about negotiations. What's interesting is that the application of his techniques and skills directly correlate with working with buyers and sellers. And what he comes to is this idea of tactical empathy, which is to say we as agents often are very confident in what we know and can sometimes create some distance from our clients when we're not in alignment and they're not feeling connected. So what is tactical empathy? Tactical empathy is acknowledging what someone else is experiencing so that they have the understanding that you are aware of how they feel, even if you don't agree with them, and is a way to connect with the psyche of somebody, even if they are a very extreme personality. Now, when you're dealing with a buyer or seller in a real estate transaction, as we all know, this is a very emotional time. There's a lot at stake. There's ego, and it can often bring out some of the worst behaviors and some of the, where they feel very angry or frustrated or concerned or worried. All these things are coming into play. And if you're not in alignment with them as their agent, then you're going to have a tough road and often can lose that client if something goes wrong. Tactical empathy would be in regard to a seller with a price reduction, which would be like, Mr. Seller, it seems like, we've been on the market for some time and I know you want to get every dollar. You're frustrated because the home hasn't sold yet, and yet we're at a price that, is where you feel like you need to be. So tactical empathy in the case of a seller would be a situation where maybe a home, they're boxed in on price, but they're frustrated. And so you would say something like, it seems, it feels, it sounds like, which is a trigger to then describe their story from their perspective. So you're like, Mr. Seller, it seems like you're frustrated. Obviously, you had hoped that the home was going to sell sooner and it was going to sell for the amount that you needed to get out of it. That's what we know. I know that you have to get back to New Jersey and that you got family that's waiting for you and that there's a lot on your mind. And you're probably, wishing that things were happening a lot faster. When you hit the right story, you're going to hear that person say, "That's right." You want that's right, because it means that even if we quote unquote don't understand, we empathize with their position. They feel acknowledged in their experience and that you know what they're experiencing. When that happens, it unlocks the doors and it's going to make your relationship a lot smoother, and it's going to help you get that price adjustment and get them to where they want to go. Tactical empathy in the case of a buyer would be, it seems like Mr. Buyer, you want to get every dollar, and it seems like you want to negotiate really hard because when you sold your home, you lost money. You felt like, that when you purchased your next home, you wanted to make that money back, and you have a lot of people that are riding on this. You don't have as much in your investment account as you did before. You've got a lot of pressure on you from your wife, and that's making this a really tense experience for you. That kind of tactical explanation or connection with somebody will often get, that's right, that's exactly right. And when you can get to the point where the person that you're working with feels that you empathize exactly with what they're experiencing, then they're going to be a much easier client to work with. You're going to be able to influence them for good. Now, the good part about this technique is even if you're wrong, you say, it seems like you're frustrated or it seems like you're in a hurry. If you're incorrect, your client is going to correct you. So that's good. They're going to feed you back what they're most experiencing. They'll say, it seems like Mr. Buyer, that you're in a hurry, and you really need to get in before summer. If it's incorrect, that client's going to say, well, no, not actually. I'm not in a hurry because of that reason. I'm worried about interest rates. So the reason that I'm in a hurry is because I'm worried about my rate. Well, that's a very different condition than worried about speed, because you actually have to physically be in another location. So there are some mechanisms obviously that you can use differently. So that's tactical empathy. Use it for good, and it'll help you to sell more homes.